Welcome, everybody. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Julia. And tonight we are excited to celebrate some people that have ranked up. Let me see if I can mute everyone. Hold on. We're excited to celebrate some big rank ups we had last month. We had a whole bunch of new Senior Rubies and 2 new Sapphires. So I don't know about you guys, but I remember Christy Jex's first video that I saw of her, and she said, "My name is Christy Jex and I'm a Ruby ambassador." And I was like, whoa, oh, she's made it. Like, I was a silver, maybe senior, whatever, what was in between, silver, gold, somewhere in between there. And I just remember thinking, like, if you're in the Ruby sphere, like a Ruby Senior Ruby, you have a legit team. You were on your way up. You're like basically to Emerald. Like, I had no idea, right? But I just thought, man, if you've gotten there, that's like 50 people on your team, right? That is huge. And you have made it. Like, you are committed. And I remember following her and being like, now she's a Senior Ruby. Now she's an Emerald. And then we watched her go all the way to Diamond. And so it's been so fun to follow in her footsteps, because when I first started, Emily and Brooke were already Diamonds. And so I didn't have anyone that I was like scoping and following, but it's been so incredible to watch this huge burst of momentum. I feel like our team has been needing that. And I want you guys to listen to their words and listen to the things that they have to share tonight, some tips and some advice and maybe part of their journey, so that you can also feel inspired that this is absolutely possible for you too. That life doesn't have to be I'm a forever silver. You'll meet tons of people in Plexus that are like, my goal this year is to go from silver to senior silver. And you're like, oh man, our goal for Ohana is like a month, like 30 days, let's go. We just have a whole different mentality of what is possible. And because that has been led by our leaders, and we have accepted that is our normal. We make things happen. We set plans, we set goals. So I know Jessica has to hop off. So we're going to have our newest Sapphire, Jessica, share for a little bit, and then she can hop off and get going like she needs to. So we're so excited for her. Congratulations. This is huge. She will be our first Diamond pediatrician up there. She's on her way.
Oh, you're so sweet, Julia. Okay. Sorry, guys. We're in the middle of dinner and have a birthday party to go to at 8:15, and all the things. This is just how life goes. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk a little bit about is, sorry, I just ran up the stairs. Okay. So, I think a lot of times people will say, like, I don't have any idea how you do everything you do. People tell me that a lot. And honestly, I don't know how other people do what they do. And I don't think any of us really do, because we're not in those shoes, right? So our responsibility is just to do what we can in the situation we're in, and to make the most of it, and to push ourselves to do just a little bit more. So, July was a really, really crazy, awesome month for us. So my family was finishing a house to get ready to sell. It was a really busy month at my day job and my full-time pediatric practice. And I had my two amazing power partners, Nicole Brinkerhoff and Melissa Lombardo, who you heard from last week, who were like, I'm pushing for Emerald. I'm going to earn Emerald Extravaganza. And I was like, okay, I guess we're pushing. So July became a push month in pretty much every area of my life, with Plexus, with finishing the house, with my pediatric practice. Like, it's just been kind of all out. And July, that's just what it was. So the one thing I would say is, like, if you're going to set a goal, you have to know what it is that you're going to do. And you have to be willing to make some sacrifices for it for a time, right? So Melissa and Nicole and I talked every single day. We had our Marco Polos, we had our messenger thread, we worked together, we encouraged each other, we cried together on the hard days, and just pushed all out. I had to get my family on board with that, and that's huge. is talking to your family. That was not always something I was super great at the beginning of my business. I just kind of did what I was doing, and they just had to deal with the consequences of that. And I don't recommend that. So make sure that you're involving your family in your conversations about your business, because there will come a time when, like, July was a full out push. And my kids just knew that. My husband knew that. And even when he needed me to come and even when they needed me to come and help, he needed me to come and help at the house. He was like, oh, but I know you've got to do that. And so it just is what it is. But then at the end of the month, when we were in like the full out dead sprint to the finish line, and I knew we were not done until everybody crossed the finish line. So getting that Sapphire rank shortly after I finished my clinic day, but then like, okay, shifting that to, okay, here comes the Emeralds, here come the Sr Rubies, and we did it all together. And that is the magic of teamwork. And we had, I mean, you heard last week about the other jewels who just rallied, and Brooke came and just like drug us all across the finish line like she does. And just the amazing team culture of that. So one of my things that I would love to tell you is, if you have people who want to push for something as a leader, which if you're a gold ambassador, you're a leader. If you're a silver, you're a leader. If you're a senior silver, you're a leader, because you've got at least one person underneath you. And if they want to go, you've got to go too. And that was, July was not the best month for me to push for Sapphire, but because that's what my team needed, we did it. And we all rose together. And that is the beauty of this family. That's the beauty of this team, and the incredible journey that we're on. So if you have somebody who wants to run, just know that maybe you need to make some sacrifices for your team a little bit. And in the end, it's all worth it. In the end, did that happen? Well, we listed our house on Thursday and we were in contract on Saturday. So I know that's because we did what we needed to do. Every single day we had family prayer together, and we prayed for all these different things in our lives. And you can do it. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. That's my message for you today, is you can do it. You just have to put your mind to it, put in the work, pray a lot, cry a lot, work hard, and do it.
I love that. Thank you so much. The thing that consistently keeps coming to my mind is that when you look at the diamonds and the sapphires and the emeralds, the only thing standing between them and you is that they've just continued. They haven't quit. They've had more failure, more success, more no's, more everything in bulk. And then by the time you get to sapphire, it's like triple bulk. And then by the time you get to diamond, it's like that times 100. And really, that's what sets you apart, is your ability to want more for yourself than anybody else wants. And for you to say with such clarity, this is what I'm going for, not because it's convenient for me, because growth will never be convenient. It'll never be like the best time to grow and not sleep and eat Cheetos while you're like crushing it and put your phone on like an ice cube because you just can't stop knocking out the messages because time's cutting out. You know what I mean? Like, it's never going to be a good time, but you need to understand that when you feel it building, when you see it coming, when the momentum is coming, when people are signing people up, you grab that and you push as hard as you can, because at some point it may plateau out and then you can take your rest. But if you see it coming, you don't do anything with it, or if you push super hard and then you're like, oh my gosh, everybody take a break. Everybody will take a break. So yes, pray hard and work hard. So, okay, the next person we have sharing is, we'll go with Amy. Amy's ready, and she's got a lot going on tonight. We all do. We're all trying to pack up for tomorrow. So we'll have Amy share. Amy just went Senior Ruby, which is incredible. That is such a huge feat. That is one step away from Emerald, and she just went for it. And so I'd love for her to share some of her thoughts on what she did, what that felt like, and kind of how she guided her team towards that.
Okay, you guys, first of all I can feel right now is just gratitude. So much gratitude. Like Jessica is saying, you know, there's never a good time. And like we all say all the time, we're so lucky to be on this team. We're so lucky to be on this team and to be surrounded by so many good people. And like you said, Julia, you know, we do things in a week, whereas other people take forever. You know, we are so blessed to have the leadership that we do. So this rank up for me was all about my teachers, my mentors, my team, my sideline sisters. I think about where I was a year ago as we're preparing for Gold Retreat, and I was a brand new Gold, and I didn't feel like I knew anything, and I was so overwhelmed, and all the questions, you know, and to understand the growth that's happened in that year, I can't take credit for that because I have such amazing leadership. I've got Nicole, and I've got Jessica, and I've got Jen, and I've got Brooke, and I learn from every single one of them almost daily. And so I'm just sitting here in gratitude and kind of blown away by it all. And you know, I really owe a lot of this to my team. I have an amazing team. I've got Liesl and Rachel and Gail, who had almost, and I think Gail had 100% retention, and Liesl and Rachel had almost 100% retention. That is a big deal. And so for them to be such good leaders for their own teams, you know, we all rise together. We rise by lifting others. We rise by lifting each other. It's a team, like Jessica said, it's a team. And amazing leaders, amazing team. And you guys, if you haven't found a sideline sister to run with, someone to encourage you and push you and challenge you and cry with you and pick you up when you fall on your face, you need to do that. You need to find somebody to run with. There are so many amazing ladies on this team, you know, that I talk to all the time. And I know all of you have those people too. And we all help and push each other. The other thing is my thoughts keep going back to Brooks Align retreats. And before those retreats, I thought this business and life and goals and everything, I thought it was all about balance. You know, it's a juggling act and you're trying to keep all the balls in the air without dropping anything. And I've realized since her retreats that that's not what it's about at all. It's about alignment in your life and your business. It's about finding your priorities and focusing on those first. You've got to find the things that are most important to your family, that are most important to your kids, that are most important to your business, that are most important to your team, and focus on those things first. And when those become your priorities, all the other little stuff falls into place, or you start to realize what you need to let go of. There are a lot of things that I had in my life a year ago that now I just call fluff, and I don't need anymore. Things have become laser focused, and I know that they will continue to become more and more laser focused because I'm on this journey and I'm right in the middle and I'm nowhere near where I need to be. So this rank up for me was incredibly humbling. It's like Jessica said, there's never a good time to go for it. I knew Nicole was going for Emerald, and I was like, no, wait, not this month. I'm not ready. I've got too much going on. We can't do it this month. July was insane for me, just like for Jessica. The 4th of July, you know, we had 2 holidays in July. The first week I had my whole entire family here, my side of the family. The next week we went with my husband's side of the family, and we were in Yellowstone for an entire week, where I was shocked to find out we had no service. So I felt like the first 2 weeks of the month were a total wash. And I came back and I was just like running and falling and running and falling and trying to keep up because I knew it was such a big month. And anyway, I feel like I'm talking too long, but it's a team effort. We all have to work together. We rise by lifting each other. We all rise together. So those are my thoughts.
Thank you. That's actually just such a huge part of, I think, what sets our team apart and why this is so special, because this is not something that you're like on your own path figuring it all out. Not only do we have tools, but we literally have massive cheerleaders, up, down, left, right, up, 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 down, down, down. And if you don't have that, you need to fight as hard as you can to earn a retreat. You need to show up at convention. You need to show up at events so that you can meet people. So you can say, like, I've seen your face on Instagram. I've used your story and you are blank. My name is Julia. Hi. And you create those connections, because those will carry you through everything that's hard in this business. And absolutely, we rise together. That's it. Like, when somebody rises, everybody is in it. And that's the part that's really awesome. Like, we are Marco Poloing, we are lifting, we're encouraging, like whatever your month is, you have those people, and that makes such a huge difference. And those people are available. Like, everybody needs people, you know, it's like the bench. If you're going to the bench, like, just say, I'm at the bench and I don't have anybody. Who can I use? Talk to your upline and say, I need somebody who's about the same pace as me. Reach out and get to know them. Okay. We're going to hear from Sierra real quick. Sierra double ranked Ruby and Senior Ruby the other month, and that has not been done. I don't know if ever. We're talking about that. And she's just kind of like, yeah, like I just went for it. But I know that's not true because she worked her tail off. So I'd love for her to share something about, Sierra just joined Plexus this year. So I want her to share a little bit about what's possible. You know, some of us like didn't get there for a year, 2 years, or 3 years. And I want Sierra to share from her perspective what's possible when you run fast and what that looks like, and why, if you have the opportunity and the momentum, you should take it and run.
Hi, everybody. Let's see here. I'm not sure where to start. Yeah, I just started, and I ordered my products at the end of February, and I didn't even want to share for about a month. So I really got started at the end of March. Once I was one of those, you know, that had to see it for myself. But I should have started earlier. Anyway, I think one of the things that maybe I did is I called people that I had worked for or worked with before, and I knew they had this kind of mindset. They were open to this kind of a work. And I asked them, I said, hey, I'm going to do this. Do you want to try this out and do this with me? So I think getting on the phone with people that you see a potential to do this with you. So I had 4 runners. So I was trying to learn, you know, the products and how to lead, all kind of in the first month. I think I just really got lucky. I don't think it was anything I did necessarily, but got really lucky with some amazing people right off the bat. And so I am so grateful. I love how Amy was just, it's so true. I was so grateful for all that. And it was just like a whirlwind of, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm just bringing everyone to Julia, and she pretty much did it all, like, I swear. So, but I mean, everything everyone's saying is so true. Like, but I did see the potential, and I just I worked really hard. Like, my family probably didn't eat anything besides like Costco ready meals, you know, for a month or 2. And I didn't get to like play my piano leisurely like I like to. And you know, giving up some stuff is definitely how I'll have to sacrifice. I don't know. I think an advice would just be like, stick with the sponsor and just do exactly what they say, and just say, okay, I'll try that, even though like it scares you to death. Like, just everything, you know, I think is what I did. I would go to Julia's house and just go work for like 6 hours, but they were like, those 3 months were those months for me. Like, I just felt it, like it was happening. It was like, those were the months. So I just went for it. Sat in Julia's house. Like, my kids all had big, incredible babysitters, and I don't know, it just worked out great. But what can I say?
What do you feel like? What was your thought process when Brooke said, "What if we double rank this month?" Like, you're kind of close enough to Ruby. You're like 150 points away. What if we just go Ruby, Senior Ruby? Like, what was your thought process? I feel like
I never thought I could even be gold. Like, I never thought I could be silver. I didn't even like, what? I don't think I could do that kind of stuff.
What is that like to have, I think, to have possibilities like brought to you And then how do you take that? And then how have you used that with your team? Like the same thing. And you're just kind of like, I don't know, I guess I'll go for it, was basically what you said. And we mapped it out and we went for it, like all in. And so because of that, you flipped around to create that, and you went to your team and did the same thing. Like we were like, okay, what if we just go for gold? What if we go for gold? What if you go for senior gold? And it became not a big deal because for you, you're like, I'm going to go for it. You want to go for it? And it just became like what we do.
Yeah. Yeah. Having someone believe in me, that was really awesome. You know, I don't think a lot of us have people that believe in you and can see, like, I don't think we even know what we are like capable of doing. Like, we just forget, like, we're really capable people, you know, and beings and women, and we're smart. We just kind of forget. So that is, yeah, I think it's kind of like you just, whatever your sponsor tells you, and then you just go do that. Like, it's just kind of like that game, you know, the baddie.
Because you're not doing it alone.
Yeah.
You're just like, tell me what to do. And then she'd be like, okay. And I'm like, can you do it live? That's awkward. Okay. Like she would just do everything. And I'm like, can you just message all these people? And she'd sit down and just literally copy paste, like the IPA challenges, like that same type thing. Or we're like, can you just message all of your people about this thing? And she's like, sure. And so if you have that openness and that willingness to do things like that, that's how you get to where you need to be. And if you're like, I don't think that's going to work, that's outside my comfort zone, that's actually probably the time that you need to show up the most. Like when it's outside your comfort zone. The first time I talked on one of these calls, I was having a mini panic attack. I had like 7 Post-its of notes. I was like fumbling. I was sweating. I had no idea who I was speaking to. And I'm like, this is the most awkward thing I've ever done. But I just felt impressed that every time Brooke said jump, I was like, okay. And I still do that. So I'm leading the call tonight because she just said, will you? And I said, okay. Like I'm still doing that 3 years later because I trust the process and because I trust her. And so if you look at people above you, and when we teach you and we give you these tools and you're like, I don't know, but I know that whatever it did worked for them, and you just keep going in that direction, that's how you're going to get to where you want to be. So thank you so much for sharing that.
Sure.
Sorry, we're going to have Janelle share next. Janelle also went to Sr Ruby last month, and she is incredible. She is a teacher, and she used her summer to just make it happen. And it was pretty incredible. So she's going to share a little bit about how Brooke pulled another thing on her where Brooke said, what if, and how that went down.
Thank you, Julia. And it was actually in June. And speaking of Sideline Sisters, Julia Bender and I led a call, like a What is Plexus call, at the very beginning of June. And she, you know, said to me, what are you doing this month? And I said, well, apparently I'm going for Sr Ruby this month, because I had not re-ranked Ruby in quite some time. And when I was setting my goal with Brooke at the beginning of June, I said, my goal is 600 points. Like I want to get to 600 so that in July I can go Sr Ruby. And, you know, Brooke was her very Brooke way and said, we could just do Sr Ruby this month. Let's just go for it this month. And I was like, okay. So a few days later, and I was on the call with Julia, I was like, so I'm going for Sr Ruby. And Julia, being a Sideline Sister, was like, you can do it. How are you going to do it? What are you going to do? And we sat on the phone for probably 45 minutes after we led that call together. And that's what we're talking about. If you're new here, like a Sideline Sister is someone who's on our team, but like Julia and I don't benefit from each other. Julia doesn't make any money off of me. I don't make any money off of her, but she sat on the phone with me for 45 minutes because she was a Sr Ruby going for Emerald that month. So she's that one step ahead of me. Like she's been there, she's doing it, and I can learn from her. And she took the time to spend with me. That's what we're talking about when we say, find a Sideline Sister or Sideline Sisters that are going to encourage you, because that is so amazing and so incredible. And so I didn't know, I mean, I sat down with my team, and I have an incredible team, and we mapped out goals for them. And we just, like we've been saying over and over, we rose together. And the team that gets you to silver is not going to be the team that gets you to gold. It's not going to be the team that gets you to ruby. Some people will still be with you. Some people will fall off, and new people come out of the woodwork. When you pray for the people to come to you, they will come. It was incredible. The last day of that month, and I had already ranked Sr Ruby, a level 1 called me at 9:45 p.m. She didn't call me. She sent me a message. I'm going to sign up my husband and my niece. Out of nowhere, 2 more people came, and we ended the month If you don't know, Sr Ruby is 750 points. We ended that month at 819 points, and my goal was 600. So if I had just been like, 600 is my goal, and Brooke hadn't pushed me, I would have never landed at 819, because my expectation would have been lower, which means I wouldn't have worked as hard, which means I wouldn't have pushed my team, and we wouldn't have rose together. So I would just say, set those goals big. Even if you don't think it's possible, set it anyways. Brooke says the time's going to pass, right? You might as well go for it. And my advice would be follow up. Like, people always ask me, how long do you follow up with people? A lot of the people that I signed in May and June to help get me to Sr Ruby were people that I had been following up with for years. And I have signed 6 people in the last 3 months, May, June, and July, that had been ambassadors before and quit, canceled their account, and now they're back. I signed another one, re-signed another one last week. So people are watching, people are coming back, and you can never follow up too much with people, because eventually that no is going to be a, well, maybe, and then that well, maybe is going to be a, my time is now, and I'm ready to go. So I would just say, go for the big goals, follow up with people, use your Sideline Sisters for support, encourage your team, praise your team. You know, you're not going to get there alone. And I have been doing this for 4 years, and it took me a long time to realize that you cannot get there alone. I knew it, but you have to have a team if you want to grow. You have to. Anything else, Julia?
That's perfect. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I think you guys just need to be aware that in this group, we do the impossible. Like, we do what blows your own mind. Like, if you look at my Post-it, this is Julia, conservative. I am an emerald. Down there it says November. And then I thought, maybe like September if I'm really lucky. It's my birthday. That's a good month to go green. I did it in June. And I didn't do it, right? I didn't do it. I didn't do it in June. I didn't pick June. I would have never picked June. I would have picked like next century if it were up to me. But we do have our people above you and below you that say, what about now? Why not now? Why not you? And why not now? And I want you guys just to remember that. Why not you? And why not now? Like, if you have enrolled one person, you can enroll another one. If you've enrolled 3 people, you can do 3 more. Like, you have it within you. So the only thing that's holding you back is you. And there's a title that I just read. It said, why are you so terrified to want more? And for me, that was like a big block of emerald. I don't know what it meant, but it was like the yellow brick road, the giant castle. I was totally fine with being on the road, hitting all these other ranks. For me, somehow emerald meant I had reached the giant castle, and I didn't know what was inside or what that felt like. And so I was so weird about emerald, right? I don't know why. Well, I remember the day that I hit emerald, Christy Jack said, do you feel any different? And I said, no. She's like, you're still you, right? And I said, yeah. She's like, yeah, just like, you just did a whole lot of stuff last month. And I was like, I know, that was awesome. So like, don't limit yourself because you're like unsure of your capacities. Don't limit yourself to slow growth because you're unsure of if you're going to be able to handle that type of growth. Don't limit yourself because you're unsure of what that's going to feel like, what that's going to look like, who's going to be struggling because all of your time is being spent doing this thing. Like, you figure that out later. You set your boundaries later, but you'll never even have a chance to know if you keep yourself small and if you give yourself very, very conservative goals. And so some of you might feel like you're like, okay, well, I've been doing really good and I did this and I ranked this, or I've been doing this and now I'm just kind of like at a plateau. Like, why? Who are my runners? How come all these other people, how come Julia found a Sierra? I need a Sierra. Remember when Phyllis was running like flying high and everyone's like, we were joking that we should get t-shirts that said, I need a Phyllis, right? Nobody needs a Phyllis and nobody needs a Sierra. Your people need you, right? And if you start moving, that's what Brooke said. She's like, if you're plateauing, Julia, and you want a team, you just start moving. And I'm like, oh, that's genius. If you start moving, you'll find your team. If you start moving, you'll develop a new silver. You'll develop a new something. The energy on the team creates momentum. It wakes people up that have been sleeping. It wakes people up that have been chilling. It brings people to a cause and to a plan and to a goal. And people love being a part of something big. Like, you guys need to realize that the energy in the month I went Emerald was so fun. The energy in Hannah's team when she went Emerald, I was a part of that. It was so incredible to watch. And literally every time I said, Hannah, what are you doing? She said, God. And I said, I know, but what are you doing? And she said, God. And I said, oh my gosh, that was me last month. Because she'd say, how do you have 100 people? And I'd say, I don't know, God. Because literally people just started showing up. And when you're doing the work and you're doing the work with like passion and love for people, like that's all this is. You're doing it because you love people and you don't want to watch your friends suffer, and you don't want to watch people suffer financially or with their health, and you have a solution. That's it. So if you go forward with all you've got, the money will follow, the title will follow, the rank will follow. You'll sit here on the other side of Sr Ruby and Sapphire and go, I don't know what just happened, but that was amazing. Right? And you're going to be like, that was not the right month. Everything went to town. Like my air conditioning went out, you know, the month I hit Emerald, like completely out. I was in this room sweating up a storm, and I just kept going because you have to go when it's time to go. So recognize when it's your time to go. And if you're not sure when it's your time, create a time. And don't put it off till November. Don't be a Julia. Say August. What's my time? What am I going to create this month? I'm going to earn Leaders Retreat this month. Like, I will not sleep until I've earned Leaders Retreat. And so I'm going to completely map it out. And that means I need to enroll this many people a day. And you set forward and you go forward with a plan. And you say, what would it feel like if I earned it this month and then I was at the shopping spree? What would that look like if someone's handing me sparkling water and a little tiny card at a lunch saying, go to town and shop for $2,000? What would that feel like? And don't say, gosh, I bet those other people were really going to enjoy it. Think, why not me? Why not now? Like, what would happen if I did that? Well, then I would be in momentum. My team would see me do it. I would probably poop my pants because I'm shopping for free for $2,000, right? Like, this is like no joke generosity. And this is possible for all of you guys. So don't sit and think I'm a silver. If you're the silver, like they said last week, you have the best chance of earning all the things because you get silver, senior silver, gold, senior gold. You just do all the ranks. But you have to be uncomfortable and don't think I'm getting left behind or I've been doing this so long and I'm still a blank. Just be like, I've been doing this so long and I'm blank. I'm amazing, right? Just like Tiffany Peterson. I'm amazing. I'm a silver. See that? I'm not an associate. I'm a silver. And know that you have within you, you have the hard work, you have the dedication, you have the tools, you have the leadership. There is nothing you don't have to be successful. It's just up here. So I just want you to think, we can close this up, but just know, I want you guys to see what's possible here because a lot of these ladies were not in the plan to make this happen. It wasn't this organic, casual, it's your time, I just ranked up, it's been 2 months. There was nothing like casual about this. It was done through tears, fear, probably like lack of sleep for sure, like massive sacrifice with the family, kids not being tended to, watching too much TV, a husband not being dated, like all of the things, but it's not 12 months out of the year. It's like a couple times a year. You just go all in. And I want you to go all in because I want you to see what you are capable of. And that's it. So as you remember that, just Sierra says, if I can, anyone can. Just create it and it will come. And that's literally what she would tell people. If people are like, I don't have a runner, she's like, well, then go find one. Like, if I don't have anyone sharing, well, then keep going. Just manifest it already. Like, she's like, just speak it out loud and it will happen. And that's really what she did. And people were like, I don't think I can post. She'd say, sure you can. Let me show you how. Or I'm too scared to do this. She's like, well, it's okay. We can do it together. You know, I can help you. What if it looked like this? All you're doing is loving people and you're showing people what's possible. So you help somebody get to silver. You help somebody find one person. You help one person do a post. Little baby steps. And then it becomes totally normal. And one day you'll be sitting here leading a team call of 50 people and saying, I remember when Julia did it and I thought, yeah, right. Like I would ever be that person. That's terrifying. And here I am. Because we're here to do scary things. Scary things make us grow. Scary things make us who we are created to be. And you were created to be absolutely incredible, influential, to leave an impact in this world. So don't you forget that, okay? So now you can go home and go back home or go inside and hang out with your families. But I'm so grateful that you guys showed up tonight and for taking the time to be here. I encourage every single one of you to take some time tonight and just really think, what am I capable of and what's holding me back? And then write down all the things that's holding me back, throw it up and throw it in the garbage, like roll it up and throw it away. And then look at your map and just say, this is what I'm going to create this month. And that's it. And just do everything in your power. And if your goal is create 1 silver, you're going to do it. And if your goal is add 10 to my team, you're going to do it. But do outside of your comfort zone. Do not do what's comfortable for this month. And I want to hear how it goes. You can message me later. Okay. Love you guys.